Hey, JR!
Yeah.
Check this out, what just came in the mail, man! It arrived!
All
Look
right.
at this puppy!
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Straight from the Disney store.
Straight from the Disney store. This is what, one of your member benefits? This is an awesome
my Disney
poster.
Insider benefits. Sent
I already
that to
got
me
it
for free. Yeah.
Queued up. I can't wait to see the movie. Awesome poster.
Well, you might want to slow down on your roll to Avatar.
Oh, really?
I don't know. Maybe
You're
it's
gonna
just
have to
me, but I wasn't the biggest of fans. So, but let's see how that poster looks up there, Dane. Look at that beaut. Yeah. If only the movie was half as good as that poster.
What?
We are the Cult Lords. Release your mind. Release your mind.
And that's what we're going to be talking about today, Cult Lords fans. Avatar 2, The Way of Water. And Dane here has not seen the movie.
I have not. I was getting ready to do it.
I have seen the movie.
Awesome poster.
Yeah, got the poster there in the background. I have seen the movie, but Dane wanted my opinion on it, and we're going to be sharing that. So, before we kick this off, if you could hit subscribe, hit the like button, and then tell us in the comments if you enjoyed Avatar. I have a feeling that I'm going to be in the minority on this, and that's okay.
Get ready, trolls!
Yeah. So, Dane, before we talk about
Yes.
this movie, what are we going to be drinking today?
Well, it just seemed like since it was about water, might as well drink something that looks like water, right?
Yeah, I'm sure it doesn't taste like water. Right?
This is Flecha Azul Tequila Blanco.
Blanco.
80 proof.
Yeah.
Tasty beverage. Seemed, like I said, the perfect.
So Azul is blue, right?
That's true.
Yeah. All right. Let's.
Throw a little ice in there, although I like to taste my tequilas first, raw, just to see.
All right, I can smell that. All right. Cheers.
Put it up, flash it up there for the tequila fans.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good.
All right.
All right.
Now, before we start talking about this, what should we remind them, Dane?
We want to remind everybody that we're going to go into some heavy... I assume he's going to go into some heavy spoilers.
Yeah.
Even for me, because I don't know anything about the movie.
Red alert!
Red alert!
Red alert!
I need my red shirts running down the hall to stop him from spoiling it, but I
Yeah.
need to know this.
Yeah, well...
Since it sounds like it's not good. We'll see.
Well...
Take it away!
So I want to temper that because I didn't think it was that
Right.
good. And it was, to me, very disappointing, after the first one.
So that's what the crutch was? You had higher expectations and this
Definitely.
made it?
I mean, so if we were to talk about the good and the bad, I went and saw this with my parents. Dolby Atmos,
Okay.
beautiful setting.
Good seats.
Number one, the first thing that you have to bring up is it's just so damn long. It's like 3 hours and 20 minutes.
Wasn't the Batman like 2:45? So it's another 45 minutes?
Yeah, this is
Oh my
longer
God.
than the Lord of the Rings movies that came out.
The extended.
The extended ones are even like 3 hours.
You probably had another
12 minutes.
45 minutes in the can too. And they're like, you got to get it down.
I'm sure there's going to be a 4-hour version of Avatar coming. Avatar 2.
3 hours and 30 minutes. Oh,
3 hours and 20 minutes.
20 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay.
But, so it's very long.
Mm-hmm.
When we were walking out, of the theater, my dad went to use the restroom, and then so I'm standing there with my mom, and I go, "Mom, who is the main character in this movie?" And she thought about it. She goes, "I'm gonna guess the young son of the main charter from last time."
Is that how it started?
Well, his name is Sully, right? And then so I said, "Oh, okay, interesting, okay." So then my dad comes out, and we're about to leave, and I go, "Dad, who is the main character of this movie?" And he thinks about it. He goes, "It was the dad, right?" and that's the thing. There's no structure to this movie.
Oh, so
there's no main character.
They tried to throw the entire kitchen sink in.
Yeah,
and
everybody's got all their
sense.
storylines going on. But you know what? when you watch the original Star Wars, there's a lot of storylines going on there too.
Yeah.
There's Obi-Wan, there's Princess Leia, there's Darth Vader, but you know that it's all centered around Luke Skywalker.
Right.
Right? And he's the main character that's kind of leading this, right? They didn't do that here. They had storylines going for everybody. And
then they never intermingled? Like there wasn't a culmination or...
So there is, but it's just, it's like, where are we going? Is it the son? Is it the dad? Is it the daughter who is portrayed by Sigourney Weaver in this?
Oh.
You know, it's, you can't really tell who the main character is. And then when you say, okay, what's the purpose of this movie? Mm-hmm. It's basically them hiding for 3.5 hours because the humans, you know, are there, you know, they're now, you know, reaping all the resources from Pandora.
Oh, so I thought they kicked them out at the end of the original.
No,
right?
they're there.
They came back with a
They're
vengeance?
hunting. They're fishing. They're taking resources, and they're on the hunt for Sully or whatever.
Sully, yeah.
And so Sully says to his family, who now he's got a family, a full family, and
I do have to go ahead. I'll ask a question. I was going to ask, how's the intermingling of human and avatar happening, or whatever? Because in the trailer, I remember seeing like, well, wait a minute, he's technically a human in a blue body. Yeah. Was there a merging thing?
So
like
I'm not 100% sure on that either. Like where his body is, because his body would have to be encapsulated somewhere like in a tank to be this avatar. And I know they were looking for him and like where this would be, but I don't think they ever really touched that in this.
Wasn't there something in the other movie where there was like a mind transfer plant? Like
it might have been.
I know, I can't remember.
I don't remember. So and maybe I did myself a disservice by not going back and rewatching Avatar, which I have not seen in over 10 years.
Yeah.
Rewatching Avatar, so I I'm back into the world of Pandora, you know, and then seeing this movie. And now that I'm saying it out loud, I did myself a disservice. So if you are going to go see it, make sure to rewatch Avatar before you go in, okay?
So it's an 8-hour experience, in other words, in total?
So yeah, you're going to have 7 hours of Avatar.
7 hours of pain.
So the humans are now hunting for him, and what he says is, we've got to get out of the woods. We got to get out of these forests where they know. So we're going to go into hiding, and we're going to go down on the coast, you know, half the planet away, to where there's kind of a different race of the
tribe.
Yeah, well, they're actually kind of a different race of the same. Well, not a completely different race. They look like what do they call them? The
Crow.
The Krill.
I don't know. You're looking at me like I don't know.
What's their race called? The from Pandorans. The oh my god, I can't even think about it.
I don't know.
The Na'vi.
Oh, Navi. They're blue, but they have some defined physical difference.
So when they go down there, like, you know, the Na'vi from the Force have like 4 fingers, and then the whatever they are down there in the, you know, on the ocean, they got 3 fingers with like fins on their arm.
Oh, okay.
So and then there's differently, and then like their tails are more of like fins, you know what I mean, that they can use.
They've been adapted for water use.
They have adapted to like water, right?
Okay.
So they go down there and they're like, will you please take us in, hiding, you know, and so like almost the whole community doesn't want to take these forest dwellers in.
Because they were pooping in the water and, you know.
Yeah. But the
forest dwellers.
But the, you know, the chief of the tribe's like, no, we will take them in. You know what I mean? So then the whole movie is about them trying to adapt to like water life. Like so the kids from the water race take the Na'vi out, kids to the Na'vi out, and they're like, all right, we're going to show you and then they go under there, and then like, the Na'vi kids are like, they're down there for like 3 minutes, and then they're like, oh, we can't breathe anymore. And they're swimming up to the top, and then like the water kids, they can breathe like 3 times as long underwater. Right. So they're like, oh, what? You guys are like, you know, landlubbers. You know what I mean? You guys can't do this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And then you know, I'm not going to go into the story. Is 3 hours of them adapting. Yeah, that's BS. Learning the culture there.
That's kind of
going out fishing, and then meanwhile, you know, the humans and some guys that are, in the Navi Avatar kind of thing. They're out searching for him. So, they keep going back to them as they're going to the forest. And then they take some clues that take them out to the ocean. And then they find out, they must have gone in with some of these coastal tribes. And so then they're going and they're destroying coastal tribe by coastal tribe, asking where Sully is. And everybody's like, we don't know. He's not here in our community. All right, let's burn everything down. You know what I mean? Because we're really bad. We're bad humans. You know what I mean? So, So in other words,
there was definitely, it sounds like, a political point to this movie. Yeah. Right?
And you know what? Never in this movie... well, first of all, I have to commend James Cameron and the visuals. Because the visuals are amazing.
Okay.
And he did something here that I didn't find out until later. But he released pretty much every one of these films in 48 frames per second.
Oh.
So the average movie we watch is in 24 frames per second.
Right.
He sent out reels 48 frames per second. So what happens is a lot of people are looking at this and they're like, oh my God, this looks so real. Like the texture of the skin, the texture of the braids of their hair, and you know what I mean? And how they move and how light shines on them, and everything is amazing. And I don't know if you've seen how they filmed this. There was like...
I assume it's the same thing where they're in blue balls all over. Like
they have like blue dots, and all of them have like cameras that are like about 3 feet from their face.
Okay,
that's attached to them. So they run and they act. And they got these cameras that are there, and so it's
So he can do a lot of point of view shots.
Yes, and everything's that way.
Oh.
And so James Cameron has said the reason why the big time layoff. He wanted the technology to get better, to better tell the story.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Especially 3 hours of a story.
And he's already filmed, it's in the can, Avatar 3, and then partial Avatar 4 is already...
And you don't think, and that's great to know,
right?
Don't you think he could have used some of the hour footage from this one in one of the other movies? I mean, it sounds like he went overboard with showing these mundane scenes, and it's like, this is not that
I saw an interview with him. And he was like, this over 3 hour barrier is only really in the United States. Europeans and foreigners, they don't seem to have a problem watching 3 hour movies. So Americans need to
That's because they want the air conditioning and stuff.
Set their palates and, watch this better. Kind of remind me of like Ridley Scott talking about millennials.
Right.
But,
hey, if you write a great movie.
Right.
You can get away with 3 hours and 20 minutes, but not a crappy movie, or at least not one that really isn't living up to the story.
This is where I'm going to tell you.
Mm-hmm.
We've got channel partners like the Spoiler Kings.
Mm-hmm.
I went and watched their review. They all liked it.
Yeah.
I went and watched Zack Attacks, another channel partner.
Uh-huh.
He loved it. Thought it was a great movie.
Mm.
We're here in one of the last days of 2022, and spoiler. Actually, not a spoiler. Promo. We do have some shows coming up in the future. Our best movies of 2022, and then our best series of 2022. Mm-hmm. Well, I've started watching a few best movies of 2022 videos.
Yeah.
Like I just watched John Campea, like his 2022.
Mm-hmm.
I saw like other channels doing their, and guess what? In their top 10, a lot of them have Avatar too.
Yeah. Well, but. That also could be, this is kind of a short year for, amazing movies. And plus, a lot of the stuff you and I like Batman and Barbarian, probably weren't in those top 10s.
No, they were. Some were.
Some
were. Yeah. Like, some didn't have, I saw a couple that didn't have Batman at all.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know if anybody put Barbarian in their top 10 that I saw. And I watched like maybe 4.
Yeah.
Top 10.
And so I can kind of see how Avatar would squeeze in there because there hasn't been a lot of, everything's either been romantic comedy, like feel-good stuff, or like graphic horror.
Right.
I mean, Top Gun is obviously probably number 1 in everyone's list.
No, believe it or not, I saw a couple people not include Top Gun. Well, So
you got the good, the bad, and the ugly here. Did you leaving any of that out? You got some ugly is too long. I agree. There were short points that they made the same mistake, by the way, in Wakanda Forever. they showed too much the Namor era.
Right.
Like, why do we need to see them, how they weave baskets and hang out together? We didn't need to see that.
Right.
And that sounds like they did the same thing here.
I mean, sometimes I think that's important just to have some world building. But if you're going to run 3 hours and 20 minutes, I think you can definitely cut some of that out, right? If you're showing baskets and weaving and stuff like and building the world, but you're still sticking to an hour and 40 minutes, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, well, that's okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it sounds like he had stuff that he could easily get rid of.
Oh my gosh!
So then,
and I'm sure he was pained by what he left on the cutting room floor.
So you thought the visual effects were amazing, and what about acting? What did you think about characters and acting? I mean,
once again it was good. It was good, but I kept going especially as it kept dragging on. I'm like, what's the point to this story? Yeah. Like, what is the point?
You gotta have an objective.
What is the objective? The objective is they're hiding out. So they're just trying to hide out, and the humans are trying to find them. It's hide and seek for 3 hours and 20 minutes. That's all this movie is.
Right.
That's the only objective, right? Really, is they're looking for them.
So I mean, we're spoiling here, but so how does it end? He gets caught.
So what happens is
he gets away. He blows
the hunter. Do you really want to know?
Well,
okay. So the hunters that are hunting them, Quaritch.
Stephen Lang.
Yeah.
Quaritch.
Yeah.
So he came back as an avatar? Because maybe that is going back to the point about you do a mind meld and then your mind gets taken out of your body and put in an avatar. So maybe, is that what happened with him? His body got destroyed in the first one, if I remember correctly?
Yeah, it is that guy. That is Quaritch. He's the bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
And
but now he's a
Navi. Yeah, so now he's in a Navi body, and he's like really big. So he's leading the group looking for
he's
the
out
family.
for revenge.
Yeah. So what happens is they find the coastal
Sully and those guys,
they find the coastal
community
village that they're in.
Yeah.
Go to war. All the Navi and the coastal people band together
and they
destroy their ship. Kill a lot of the people. They lose a couple of people, they lose a couple, a kid or two.
Mm-hmm.
But what happens is one of the kids, one of the kids actually took the Quaritch, put him in underwater, kind of like a headlock, or not a headlock, but a choke hold. Mm-hmm. Choked him out to where he lost consciousness and went to the bottom of the sea and was going to drown. Mm-hmm. But one of the kids saw that and was like, oh, I can't let him die. So he literally pulls him up, puts him on an island, and then the guy comes to, and then
kills
he leaves.
The kid?
No, he leaves.
Oh. So this is going to be the road to hell is paved with good intention. He's back in the next one.
He's going to probably be back in the next one. And then the end of the movie was all of the Navi forest dwellers and ocean dwellers all gathered underwater at their, how they used to have the tree of life in the forest?
Right.
Well, here they've got a reef of life with this floral stuff that glows. And they put the dead bodies of the kids into the reef.
Big funeral.
And the reef kind of takes them over. And they just talk about, our life is, born with energy and we go out with energy. And that's it.
I mean, it does sound like a good story, but it sounds like they could have easily cut an hour out of that thing.
Yeah.
I mean, right? I mean, it's a chase. It's basically, you think about The Fugitive.
Yeah.
It's that, right?
Yeah.
It's The Fugitive.
Yeah. Except that was maybe 2 hours, and it was much more interesting.
Yeah, much more interesting because it was nonstop them trying to figure out how to get away. And these guys sounded like, we'll just find another community and let's merge with them. Let's have a good time.
I'm skipping there was a lot of sub stories.
Right.
So the youngest boy, he was always kind of an outcast. So he goes out into the ocean and makes friends with this huge whale-like creature that was a mythical creature, and they all thought the whale was bad, that it killed these other whales. Mm-hmm. But he was just misunderstood. Whale, yes. The whale was misunderstood, and he becomes friend. Then there's the young girl who was really she believes her mom is Sigourney Weaver.
Okay.
So, and she keeps like, I keep feeling her spirit, her energy. And then there's like a meeting of them, like in a spirit world. So there's that sub-story going on. There's a lot of sub-stories going on to make up this one story.
Sounds like he tried to just shoehorn too many things into this movie.
I was like, this is so disjointed. This doesn't make much sense to me. I'm not a fan. And I was a fan of the first one, but not a fan of this one. And I'm like, maybe I'm just getting cynical in my old age. Maybe.
I mean, you get to a point where you realize where the beats in a movie, how they're supposed to come along. You've got a main character, an objective, a lost point, a midsection, all this stuff. And it sounds like this was not an A-B movie, but two main characters. It was like A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And then
there was literally...
You needed like another editor to step...
There was literally like maybe 4 people or 4 characters you could consider the main character if you wanted to.
Yeah.
But it was...
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I wouldn't recommend it.
So what would be your Cult Lord half rating?
A 5.9.
Ooh, 5.9.
Yes.
Well, I mean, disappointment of expectations is a powerful thing. I mean, you go in there with high expectations and then the whole thing turns into a giant jumbo mumbo of storylines.
Right.
It's like, I can understand that based on what you're saying.
Do you want to see it?
I'll probably see it anyways.
Well, I still recommend you see it.
Yeah.
Because if you're a movie
If you went under a 5, I'd probably say no.
Well, but here's the thing. If you're a movie buff, and this is a big enough film event, even if it's horrible, you still need to see the movie to form your opinion and be critical of it or be a lover of it.
Right.
But understand what everybody's talking about who's going to tell you, oh, this was a great movie. Because there's going to be a lot of people to tell you that.
Right.
So, I will still go see a movie that people will tell me is bad. Because I want to form my own opinion. So that's why I can't be the one that says, don't see this. Don't see it. Go see it yourself. Form your own opinion. I recommend you do the same.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely is an investment in time. But now the irony, of course, is my expectations are very low.
So I'm
going to be like,
I might have
what's
set
up
the
with this
stage.
guy?
I might have set the stage for you to really like this movie.
No,
So-
I mean, it's everything you said to me is valid points. There's nothing in there that's more of like, I'm an opinion. I don't like James Cameron, so I'm gonna poop all over
I
his
love
movie.
James Cameron.
Right. So
We
that's
love
everything
aliens.
you're
We
getting.
love- yeah.
He's giving a fair shake across what everything you're saying.
We love
there,
T2.
so,
We love The Abyss.
You know.
We love James Cameron. But
Right.
this movie...
It just sounded like he needed to have the deleted scenes extended cut. Peter Jackson made probably the exact same mistake at the beginning, and somebody said to him, "You need to get the source material down and pull everything out that does not deal with that main storyline." And it sounds like Cameron doesn't tend to like to invite other people to.
Well, he doesn't want to be criticized about that.
Right.
So. Well, let's open it up to the Coat Lords fans. After you hit subscribe, hit like, and hit comments, and we really do want you to subscribe. We're on the journey to 1,000.
What are you waiting for?
We love seeing your
Very
comments.
slow climb!
It is a slow burn to 1,000. But we put out a trailer reaction every day, a movie review of every week, and then we've got lots of cool stuff coming up. We're going to do our end of year
wrap up
top of 2022 for both TV series and movies. We got music stuff. We got zombie stuff. We've got music. Did I say music stuff?
Yeah, you did.
I doubly want to
emphasize that.
So just come on board, but then go way down to the comments and go ahead. You don't have to flame Dane because he hasn't seen this. You can flame me if you really thought this was a great movie.
I'll probably have the same opinion,
but you know what? If you really like this movie, I'm not going to criticize you because it's all subjective.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of cool things and visuals in this movie. And some people just might have been taken away with this. And love it.
And Cameron does put his effort in on that. But the problem is, it sounds like he relied too much on it.
Yeah.
Like he thought that's going to just carry this to, Oscar territory or something. He got away with it. There wasn't enough other things this year to knock him off the top 10 of what you were telling me earlier.
Right.
But
so go ahead, comment, let us know what you think. Tell me how crazy I am. Tell me how I'm a grumpy old man saying, get off my proverbial lawn. And
you creds.
Yeah. So Dane,
Yes.
What James Cameron messaged you?
Oh, well, for all my haters out there, I'm James Cameron, by the way.
Okay.
JR, peace out!